Hello my gorgeous makeup loving friends, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Teresa and today we are looking at BPerfect and their new trance pigments. Now I talked about these on Releases and Rants, which is a weekly show episode thing that I do on my channel, basically talking about the new releases in makeup, and I talked about this and I lost my little mind and I ended up getting the whole packet. So there are 13 kind of glitter pigments in these, and this is sort of the PR package. Now each of these retails for, I believe it's £7.95 or €8.95 altogether. Or you could get the bundle of it together for £53.95. And me being an idiot, I was like, well, clearly I'll get them for the £53.95, saving me money. No, Teresa, you're not actually saving yourself money because you've just spent £53 to get pigments. Are you all right? Anyways, today's video is just a little swatchy poo of each of these, and I would normally swatch on my face, but I already have a full face of makeup, so I'm gonna do the bog standard swatches on the arm. I know, it's very standard. Why am I clutching this like it's a child? Who knows? Many questions, very few of them will be answered. But if you want to see the swatches of these and see how it all came packaged, then that is the next part of the video. So this is the box that it obviously arrived in. I mean, beautiful presentation, and you get a little card that tells you about each of the 13 shades. That's right, 13 shades. So there's Infinity, there's Ayla, Elysium, Superstar, Insomnia, Fallen Angel, Sandstorm, Komodo, Pretty Green Eyes, Heaven, Voodoo, Raindrops, and Prodigy. And like I said, it's kind of in this little box here, and once you take it out like this, you have another box. Yeah, lots of boxes. Boxception, some might say. Who knows? Anyways, this is what it looks like. I mean, it's quite nice for storage. Then you have this little thing here. And look, you can unvelcro it so that you can feel fancy. And this is what they look like. I quite like that there's like a little storage thing in there. Like, it's bulky, don't get me wrong. It's very, very bulky, but I mean, I don't hate it. Looks very cute. So obviously we're gonna swatch them all now, and I'm gonna tell you what I think of each of these. Could I have been a complete professional and made sure that I brought my mirror on with me? Yes. Did I? No. So we're actually gonna be swatching these dry. Oh well, it is what it is. So the first one that we're looking at is Raindrop. It came, I mean, each of these come in their own little boxes, which is kind of cute. This is quite like a greyish blue, at least by the look of it. Knowing me, I'll open this and just be like, and spilling it everywhere. It is, of course, sealed for my protection. Oh, thank you. Very important to know. Whoop! Yeah, I've managed to put things all over myself. Well done, Teresa. Well done. So we have the pigment here. I've already spattered it on my arm because, you know, that's my life. It's all right. I'm going to have a shower after this. So I'm just going to take it dry on my finger. And you can see it's a nice sort of an icy blue. So we're going to swatch it now on my arm. Very pretty, very pale. You know, it's a very Elsa colour really, isn't it? So that is Raindrop. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go off and I'm going to do the other 12 shades, and I'll tell you which ones they are in order and tell you what it is that I think of them. We don't need to do this on camera, but that's the first one. It does look very pretty. So I have swatched everything, but I want you to take this with a pinch of salt because these are dry swatches, so it's not like I'm using any sort of a mixing liquid, and often with pigments you do tend to put a mixing medium in with them to make them a bit more liquid and potentially like come on as a sort of a liquid shadow. I often use pigments dry, so for me this is a fairly decent indication of whether they're worth it for me personally. So I have managed to swatch all 13 of them, and I'm going to talk about each one and what it is that I think of them, and I will be talking through the names. So this one at the very top, it's difficult to even see. This is Ayla. It's quite a pale purple, and there's a certain amount of shimmer to it. I have to say, I wasn't wowed by this. It's okay. Now, I'm the palest of the pale, and if it's not coming up on me, I'm a bit worried about that. I will also say I thought that the pigment pots in and of themselves were quite interesting because there was no sieve, so it's very, very easy to spill them. Usually on pigment pots like this, there's, well, not usually, but sometimes they have something that can help you kind of control how much of the pigment you're putting out. In this case, no. So we had swatched this one before. This is Raindrops. Again, this is a very pastel shade. It's okay, nothing to write home about. The next one then is Sandstorm. I might actually see if I turn off my ring light, will it be a bit more clear? Ah, there we go. Okay, so you can see it a bit better now. There we go. So you can see them now. This is, like I said, Ayla. It's okay. It's quite pale, quite a pale lilac-y purple. We have Raindrop, and then we have Sandstorm. Now, Sandstorm has kind of like a goldy, greeny shift in it. I think that one is actually very, very, very nice. I think it's definitely one of the ones. And I didn't think that this would be one of the shades that I would necessarily gravitate towards. So I am surprised. The next one then is Heaven. Now again, this is one that there are quite a few different kind of colours to it. There's kind of blues and browns in this, which I'm not sure if you can pick it up here, but you know, trust me, I'm very good at this. This next one then is Komodo, like the dragon. Now, I was really excited about this because if you've watched my channel, you will know I love green, and I particularly love a grungy green. There isn't much sparkle off of this. I wouldn't say that this is anything to write home about. I think there are much better pigments if you're looking for a shade like this out there. Check out things like Pastel Roses. They're actually cheaper really if you look at it, so I would say skip on this. Then the next one then is Insomnia, and this is a yellow. Now I will say a very, very pale yellow. I think if you're looking for a yellow, like a very vibrant yellow, there is a brilliant one by Sample Beauty. I believe it's called Canary or Tweety. It's called Tweety. That is brilliant. That is absolutely fantastic. It's super, super pigmented, super, super vibrant. I would recommend that one much more over this one. The next one we have then is Voodoo. Now, personally, I don't like the name Voodoo because of, you know, the connotations towards Haitian culture, and I just kind of think it's a little bit taking these things, but hey, that's me. You know, it is what it is. It's an okay colour. It's sort of a yellowy orangey mustard. I do think it's a little bit too similar to the next shade down then, which is Prodigy. So I think they could have edited this collection a little bit more and made them a little bit more kind of special. So like I said, that is Prodigy. That one is, yeah, probably a little bit more kind of rose toned, whereas this first one is more kind of golden in tone. Like they are different, but the similarities are pretty small. I would say they would blend into each other pretty well. Then this next one is Infinity, and it's just a brown sparkly pigment. I again don't think there's anything wildly special about this. I think you can get a lot better from the likes of Sample Beauty. Again, cheaper. And I think a much nicer finish. Then the next one we have is Superstar, and that's a very pale pink. Again, I think what I was surprised about this was that these all shift quite pale. So if you're of a darker skin tone, I'm not sure how they're necessarily going to show up on you, and they are put down as being sort of glitter pigments. What I will say is there isn't a huge amount of sparkle to them, which is a bit disappointing. Then the next one we have is Elysium. So that is this kind of purple shade here. Again, that's okay. I don't have exact shades like this, but I know that there are other brands that I can get that are better. Then we have Fallen Angel. I think this one is, I mean, you can see this one is very glittery. You look at the rest of them and they just, apart from maybe this shade, which was Heaven, they're the only ones that have any sort of sparkle, and when they're meant to be glitter pigments, I mean, a bit disappointing. So that one is very nice, actually. I do think that is not necessarily worth picking up, but I do think this is a best out of the whole lot. And then the very last one then is, oh sorry, that one was Pretty Green Eyes. I apologize. I was looking at the wrong one. And then this one is actually Fallen Angel. That's not great, is it? I mean, there are much better black sparkles. That doesn't even look like there's sparkles in it. It just looks like a black matte. So in all, I don't think it's the best. So, I mean, we might as well just get straight onto the review. It works out, if you're getting all 13 of them for the £43.95, as being just a little bit over £4. Do I think they are worth it at £4 each? No. There's some of them that I think are pretty decent, like Sandstorm, Heaven, and Pretty Green Eyes. Those are the three that if you put a gun to my head and said, which ones do you think are worth the money? Those are the ones that I would say, yeah, pick those up. Other than that, I don't think the rest of them are that great. I do like Pigments myself, but and I was excited to see this. I think the question is, if I could go back in time, would I buy this again? No, I wouldn't. I will still keep them because I'll end up using them, but they are a bit underwhelming. Is the word? Yeah, they're definitely maybe this shade. If I had to like really think about it, Infinity. There's a sort of a pinkish tint to it. That's a little bit interesting, but I'm really having to scramble to find something interesting about these. So in my opinion, I think you could miss out on these. If you absolutely have to, pick up 2 or 3 of them. Do not pick up all of them. Don't be a fool. I make these decisions so you don't. In terms of a rating out of 10, I would give them maybe a 4.5. I think it's very disappointing based upon the swatches that I saw on, I want to say I'm just going to say Instagram because I can't remember the exact handles. They looked really, really nice and I was really excited. But this is a classic example of maybe not trusting swatches. That being said, this is just a first impressions. You know, they could perform completely differently on the eye. This is not a primed arm. So, you know, take what I'm saying with a pinch of salt. You know, I do think this one was very, very disappointing. That, which was the Fallen Angel. I mean, very disappointing. But that's it. That is the whole kit and capoodle. Capoodle? Oh, with the poodles already. Comment down below if you know what that means. That's it. That is the whole video. Do please like, comment and subscribe. Do please share, because sharing is caring, unless of course it's an STD, in which case, you know, wrap it up. Don't be gross. But that's it. That's the end of the video and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.